Well, for the last 6 months, the U.S. economy has been contracting. That's what we learned today with the newest quarterly GDP report.
Yes, the GDP report estimates a 0.9% overall decrease in the size of the economy. While many economists now define this as a recession, the White House is pointing to other factors. It's calling this a transition. Republicans accuse the administration of playing with definitions.
This report indicates an economy that is transitioning to more steady, sustainable growth.
You'd rather redefine a recession than restore a healthy economy? If you're not willing to be honest to the American people, get out of the way and let somebody else lead.
After a shaky start, stocks closed higher on Wall Street today. Taking a closer look at what this all means, we are joined this afternoon by Scott Gilbert. He is the coordinator of SIU Carbondale's economic program. Scott, thank you for being on the program. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian, for having me here.
Okay, let's clear up the language here. We have one side calling this a recession. We have another side calling this a transition. Which one is it?
Well, Brian, there's something called the National Bureau of Economic Research, or NBER, that gets the job of calling the shot there on whether or not there's a recession. And they define it like pretty much if things are going to look really bad in enough sectors of the economy where households and firms are going to suffer in a dramatic way, that's pretty much their guide of how they make the call. And it's not just then 2 quarters of GDP decline that's going to do it. And partly it's technically correct to say no, and not until the NBER tells us do we get to say that we're in a recession. But clearly, 2 quarters of decline is not what we want to see, but we want to keep track of the rest of the economy, the labor market, and other areas to give a better picture, a broader picture of how things are going.
I know we've seen it worse in years past, but still it has Americans concerned. I'm talking about those interest rate hikes that we've seen yet again. It happened yesterday in hopes of cooling inflation. Should consumers be worried about more hikes coming this year?
Great question. With a second posted quarter of decline in that nation's output or GDP, it may be that the Fed will go, well, okay, there is some cooling off of that economy where an additional hike may not be needed. It would depend. Are prices still going to go, super high, strong and unpleasant inflation ahead of us? Then maybe the Fed will once again consider that rate hike. But it really does seem like today's announcement of another decline in GDP growth is probably going to make many think the Fed is not going to go for another rate hike, at least not in the near future.
All right, you mentioned other factors play into this whole situation. New jobs report also released today. It showed another decline in unemployment claims. Is that a good thing, or is there a downside to that?
Well, to the extent that we don't like to see unemployment, people that are willing to work and get out there and work but can't find a job, unemployment is just it's bad per se. So when we have historically low unemployment rates of 3.6%, about the lowest we've seen in decades, that's still a good thing. That doesn't mean the labor market is perfect or that everybody's finding a living wage and a kind of wages and benefits that they would like to see as thriving Americans by any means. But it does mean that, wow, it's a hot job market there with a huge demand by employers for workers, and that's a plus.
All right, Scott Gilbert, Associate Professor, also Economics Program Coordinator and Director of Undergraduate Studies at SIU. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me here.